Washington has begun hearing what is the most significant challenge to the power of big tech in decades. The US government is taking Google to court for monopoly. This is the online search industry's dynamics that we're talking about here. Prashant is standing by now to explain why this landmark case could shape the future of the tech industry and of Silicon Valley. Prashant, this is a big one. Explain to us the implications of this court battle.
Shireen, thanks very much for that. I may be exaggerating a bit here, but I guess not by too much when I say that this is being seen as a very consequential trial with respect to big tech power in the modern era. Let me quickly tell you what has really happened. Now, the US Department of Justice and Attorney Generals of 38 US states are alleging that Google maintains its monopoly power in the search and search advertising market through a set of exclusive contracts that make Google the default search engine on a range of products in exchange for a share of the advertising revenue generated by Google searches. Now, what are these exclusive contracts? To give you an example, these are contracts with web browser developers, most notably Apple and Mozilla, original equipment manufacturers like Samsung, and wireless carriers like Verizon who sell Android devices. So how much does Google pay these companies, which are on the other side as part of this, a quid pro quo? JP Morgan analysts estimate that Google will pay out nearly $30 billion to search distribution partners this year in 2023, which is about 17% of Google's search and other gross revenue. You must be wondering, what is wrong in all of this? Well, US regulators are essentially arguing, the government is arguing, that Google's alleged exclusive dealing arrangements violate Section 2 of the Sherman Act, which makes it unlawful for a person to monopolize or attempt to monopolize or combine or conspire with any other person or persons to monopolize any part of the trade or commerce. Well, how will this be settled? Broadly, there are two outcomes which many are watching out for. One is status quo, nothing changes, right? So that would be a win for Google. On the other hand, it's possible that Google loses these search distribution deals. Analysts point to the second outcome as a potential blow because the second outcome, then introduces the risk that a competitor, like, for example, Microsoft's Bing, could become the default search provider on platforms where Google right now is the default today. There is, of course, also the chance that Apple could develop or acquire its own search engine. How long could this trial sort of last, and when will we know the outcome? Using historical context in an earlier example, the US Department of Justice versus Microsoft case went on for more than 3 years. The trial began in May of 1998, and the settlement only came through in 2001. In any case, I think this will be a case which will be, as you said, very closely watched to assess the sometimes uneasy equation that big tech around the world shares with governments around the world. Back to you.
Prashant, many thanks for watching. Many thanks for joining us. Yes, we will be watching very closely. And as Prashant was pointing out, it's not like a judgment is expected anytime soon, but certainly the proceedings will be watched closely. American